Does this keep happening on your railway? Vans constantly going round corners that are a little bit too sharp, hitting something or catching something and them just falling over like a set of dominoes. Well, join me at Heart Failure Railway as we're going to try and come up with a solution for this problem. Hello and welcome back to the workbench. So we're going to be working on these today. The problem I have with these wonderful little vans is that they are so light. They always fall over at a little bump. Probably doesn't help that they've also got plastic wheels. So let's find out just how much they do actually weigh, shall we? Let's put them on the scales here. Oops, it's running away. Right side, I think. 31 grams. 31 grams. Now, the older ones, like this one, which is an old Lima one, I do believe, comes in 0 grams? Come on now. Let's set that back to 0. Comes in at 41 grams, so only 10 grams more. So when we consider that we have other rolling stock on the railway, such as these carriages, that come in at 72 grams, we need to think that these need a little bit of weight adding to them. And that's what I'm going to attempt to do. Put the scales aside for now, and I'll show you what solution I am going to try. And here they are. Ball bearings. So I know you can buy little weights, like little weights you can stick inside and stuff, but I wanted a better solution because those weights can get a bit pricey. So I'm going to glue some of these ball bearings. These are about £5 off of the internet for all these different sizes, just to put a little bit of weight inside these vans. And I'm not going to be using super glue. I'm using something a bit different. I'm going to give this a shot. This is a Gorilla heavy duty kind of silicone adhesive thing. Need one of these stringy guns to use. Also, this is also quite heavy when it dries, so it should add a little bit more weight as well. The idea is to get these up to about 50 grams, roundabout, so that they can stay on the track, they're more stable, and they won't tip over anymore. So let's crack the lid off, see what's inside, and get some of this inside. So I've never actually taken the roof off of a van before. So is it just the roof or is this all one unit? Trying to work out if this is all, it looks like this is all one solid piece. Oh, I don't want to break out. I think this is all one unit, to be fair. So I've got to find a way of getting this off. I found some little clips here, look. Look like they hold the body in place. So if I can just get these clips out. There we go. Right, so there used to be something stuck in here. There probably was a weight in here at some point, but it's no longer there. It is a bit annoying. But this is just one whole kind of moulded unit by the look of it. Kind of one whole moulded unit. So in the older vans, are the older vans a little bit different? I think the older vans are a little bit different. You can actually take the roof off the older vans, look. You can see that there's nothing in there, it's just plain. So that should be easier, whereas in here I'm going to have to add the ball bearing to the bottom here. I'm not quite sure what that glue's there for. Now, this one actually does have something inside it. So let's see what's inside this one, shall we? This one is the only one that in the entire lot that rattles. Ah, there we go. That's what it should have. It should have a weight. So there should be an actual weight in these vans, but since I got these vans second hand, a lot of them don't seem to have weights in for some reason. I'm not quite sure why. Yeah, look, the weight's missing. Oh wait, is that the weight? No, there is a weight in there. Well, now that I'm looking at it closely, I'm not sure I can see it, but the chassis does have a small weight in. It's not very much though. It's not very good. I think these get the majority of their weight from the actual metal wheels and stuff. Well, this makes it a lot more interesting because now I know that this one here has the weight that's come loose. So we have got something to stick the ball bearings to along here. So I can stick this weight back down. May as well get rid of this bit of glue on top of it. I don't need that anymore. So I'll stick the weight back down in this one with some silicone glue. And we'll add some ball bearings and see what that does to this weight. So let's get that cracked open and see where we go with this. Ha ha, look, I have a gun. So I'm going to try. Bear in mind, I've never used one of these in my life before, so that came out really unexpectedly. Look at that. Ew. I'm going to try and get this glued back in. Just a little bit of this Gorilla Glue sealant stuff. It's really sticky. So we'll just put that aside for now. We'll get this weight back into its position. Hoping this is going to work. I mean, it does say it works on plastic and it works on metal and stuff, so I'm hoping this is going to be alright. It dies pretty fast. So we've got the weight back in place. At least that's an improvement. Now, I've got the ball bearings here in this little tub. Yeah, this stuff is out. This is everywhere. It gets everywhere, doesn't it? Ew. No rude jokes. What are you thinking? Right, so I'm going to run a line of the silicone along here like that. And I'm going to stick a couple of ball bearings to it. So this is where you'll see me fail with this silicone gun thing. That's not too bad. Now the good thing is I've got these little tweezers, which I can use to pick up the ball bearings and position them hopefully without making them fly all over the place. So I'm going to put one at the end here. Might be able to use my fingers actually. Trying to keep them nice and balanced. A couple more here. I think I'm going to put 4 in this one and see how that affects the weight. So these are the larger ball bearings out of the packet. So let's see how that affects the weight. Already feels quite considerably heavier. So let's get the scales out and have a little test of how much this now weighs with those 4 little ball bearings installed. I'll put to 0. 24 grams. So that's 24 grams of just the actual under chassis. The original chassis, which is this one, was 17 grams. So we've added 7 grams. That's not too bad, I think. I think, however, I might want to add, we'll get out some of the smaller little ball bearings, just a couple of these. Mix them up a little bit. We don't want to add too much weight, otherwise the trains won't be able to pull them at all. So we've got some like smaller ones. So I'm probably going to add 1 of them, maybe 2 of them. So 1 of them. and 2 of them. I'm going to put one in the very middle as well, just to balance this out a little bit. Okay. Obviously, it's far too light for me to tell the difference, but the scales don't lie. So let's see how well that is then, shall we? And that's gone to 27 grams. 27 grams. So we've added 10 grams. So that's what we need. We need 3 of the bigger balls. So these need to be 27 grams. So we're going to put that one aside. Yoink. And we'll have a look at one of these older ones. So these currently weigh in at, if it stops rolling away, these currently weigh in at, no, it's not 0. Come on now, scale, stop playing up. Right, these currently weigh in at 34 grams. So I want to get that to at least 40. 40. If we put these back on, put that back on and that back on, they come to 41. So let's aim for 40. Let's aim for 40 grams of these. It's going to be fun getting the ball bearings in there, isn't it? Right. First things first. My useless aim with the silicone glue bob. Just put in something in here. Trying to keep them quite central, actually. Come on. This stuff is really stringy. It's like playing with that American stringy cheese. Now that I suggest you would, apparently it's not very nice. So I've just put a load of glue in there. Not sure about how well you can see that. And let's just pop some ball bearings in there to make it a little bit more heavier. So let's put 3 of these larger ones in. I'm going to have to get more of these larger ones, I think. Keeping them central so that we don't destabilise. So if we put 3 of these in, something a bit like that, and then go get my trusty scales, set them to 0. 42 grams, dead right on what we wanted to. Perfect. That's a little bit heavier, it's a little bit more stable. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the rest of the vans like this. So I'm going to be here a little while. This apparently takes 24 hours to properly set and all that lot, which, yeah, fair enough, I get it. I'm just going to quickly run a cloth over the bits that have leaked down through the wheels, make sure that all the wheels are going to be sealed together, or that's going to be a bit disastrous. And yeah, I will do the rest of the vans, and hopefully with the extra added weight they should be okay. Right, I'll see you in 24 hours then. Well, it's been 24 hours since you last saw our van, and I must say it's still got the weight that we added to it. So let's have a quick look, see how the insides have dried. Ah, nicely done there, I see. So you can see that they're nice and secure. Yeah, they aren't going anywhere, look. They're nice and tight in there, they aren't going anywhere. Nice and secured, that. Perfect, right. Well, that means there's only one thing left to do. Let's get this all put back together. Get it onto the railway. See how it runs with a train of these. See if there's any difference in the performance, which there should be, I'm hoping. Because with a little bit of weight, they should have more traction. Right, let's go see how they run, shall we? And here we have my Bachmann J11 number 5317, waiting to take our wonderful rake of box vans, which have had the weight added to them. So if we exclude the guards van, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of them. I have got some more over there as well. I didn't put all of them on because I didn't want to overload the freight train. We've got our J-Class here. I think it's a J27 that is, I think, if I'm rightly off my head. Who's got our open wagon vans on the other thing, the other line. So, let's see how this train copes with these new vans and see if we've got any improvement in the running performance. What I can tell you guys is that they are already very much more stable on the layout. As you can see, they're not as shaky. They seem a lot more stable, less prone to derailing with the weights added. So that does seem good. The train isn't having much trouble with them though. It's been alright. It's not doing any wheel slipping or anything. It's not exactly struggling with them. So yeah, I think that's a reasonable success, really. Yeah, I'm happy with that. That's a good experiment, and that was worth the time, I believe. Yeah, I'm liking how that's turned out. They seem a lot more stable. They're not as shaky, they're much more down and grounded. I'm happy with how that turned out. Well, since we're here and we've got one train running and another one which is just literally sat here, might as well have a running session, haven't we? Yeah, let's have a running session.